Hello everyone and welcome to Car News by Carcode episode 8. This is the place for automotive news, reviews and interviews. That's right, we're on episode 8. Sorry I haven't done an episode for so long. I've been quite busy doing other reviews, etc. As I mentioned in my last podcast, definitely I'll be more active doing podcasts in the winter months when there's less cars about, don't fancy going out in the elements. So definitely you'll see more of these. We're going to talk about some of the latest news and then I'm going to read some of your comments as well. So if that sounds good, keep watching and let's start with the latest news. Okay, so the latest news, and quite an interesting story actually, I think, is the smart hashtag 5 is on the way. And honestly, I think this looks like a great car. It's very reminiscent of the Mercedes GLB. That makes sense as it's designed by Mercedes Design, of course. It's a collaboration with Geely and Mercedes, Smart is. I think it's good. Lots of people like the idea that smarts are small cars. It's like Mini with Minis and they're getting bigger and people not sure. I think this is going to have the same sort of controversy because it's a bigger vehicle. But yeah, I love the boxy shape. It reminds me of the GLB. Also reminds me of the Jeep Renegade. So all of those rugged aesthetic looks really good. Also, it's nice because it doesn't look like an electric car, so to speak. It just looks like a car. And I really like electric cars like that just look like a normal car and you kind of don't think about it being an electric vehicle. You just think, well, that's a nice car, I could have that. That's how I feel about the Mazda MX-30. It's how I feel about the e-tron GT and a few other cars that you're not like, that's an electric car. You're just like, oh, that's a car. Yeah, it's nice, I'll plug it in, that's fine, you know? And I feel like this is one of those cars. So, looks great. Pricing has not been confirmed as of yet. Some people are thinking it's going to cost £45,000-50,000. I think it might even start the low 40s because the hashtag 1 and hashtag 3 start just over £30,000, that sort of area. So I think maybe we could be looking at the low 40s and that would be on the money. It's going to compete with cars like the Volkswagen ID4, the new Ford Explorer, of course, and the Mini Countryman Electric as well. So a few different cars, all that sort of size. But no, I really like the way it looks. There's also going to be a 637 brake horsepower dual motor Brabus version. What is the need? I mean, I was listening to the Electrifying podcast the other day and they mentioned the same thing as how fast electric cars are and is it needed? No. Where does the line stop? At 637 brake horsepower family SUV is insane. And I get it with the motors, it's accessible, that power, so they really want to push boundaries and get headline figures, but that just seems absolutely bonkers. There will also be single motor versions of the hashtag 5 as well, which should be rear wheel drive, 335 brake horsepower and 386 brake horsepower. So they're both still really powerful for rear wheel drive vehicles. It's how electric cars are progressing, and obviously it's on an electric platform, so it can be capable of a lot more than a car made into an electric car like we see from other Mercedes vehicles. It's interesting and I love the aesthetic. We saw the concept of it, which was like an off-road one, but we started to see like sketches now of what the production was going to look like and also leaked images from China. And honestly, I think it's going to be a really successful vehicle. I enjoyed driving the Smart Hashtag 3 in London earlier in the year. That was really good fun. And I think it'll be a good car. I just love the boxiness of it. It looks great. They've done a really nice job with the design. Quite an exciting car that's coming. And then I've got two other cars that I'm just going to be discussing quickly. Not the latest news, but I've not done the podcast for so long that I thought these two cars were quite interesting to discuss. And the first one is going to be the Ford Capri. Now, this is quite a controversial vehicle, of course, and I just thought I'd say my side of it. I was not around for the original Capri. I understand that's like quite a nostalgic vehicle for people. It's got a bit of resemblance to the original, but no, I get it. It's not quite there. The back rear quarter I do see in the window line, that's very reminiscent of the original, and even the front with the eyes at the front, the quad lights, I think that looks quite similar to the original car, but they made it into an SUV and people have found that quite annoying. Essentially, it's just the Explorer into a coupe SUV. Now, normally I actually really like a coupe SUV, and there's quite a few cars that works so well as a coupe SUV. Audi do a great job on the same platform with the Q4 e-tron, the Sportback the coupe one looks so much better. However, with the ID5, the Capri, the Enyaq coupe, I feel like the traditional boxy SUVs all work better. And this is even the case as well with the BMW. So with the iX1, I prefer that to the iX2. And I think brands are losing their way a little bit. They're like, must make coupe SUV, and it just doesn't work quite right. Whereas you can tell when a brand's really, really thought about their coupe SUV, how they're going to tweak it, and Audi are great at doing that. Also, some internal combustion engine vehicles have been produced, the coupe SUVs, that look really good as well. So one of my favourites in the smaller segment is the Volkswagen Taygo, which is basically like a Polo or a T-Cross coupe SUV-ified. And that works so well, and it's a new nameplate, so it works. But people don't like the idea that the Capri is brought over from the other name. Also, in terms of inside, it's very similar to the Explorer. The only difference really is a detail on the steering wheel, which actually looks really cool. But other than that, not much is different between the two cars. Honestly, I think it takes a bit of the light away from the Explorer because there's been such a build-up and hype, and it's finally here, and then the Capri just swoops in and like takes its spotlight a bit and gives it a bit of bad press, do you know what I mean? And then the Explorer kind of fades away in people's minds. So yeah, I think it's a bit odd how it's worked, but this is how things happen with delays and things like that. It will be an interesting car to see. I am excited to do a review on it because I think it will be a nice car. I do like the look of it. I prefer the Explorer, but I'll have to see it in person to actually know. And I like it, but I do understand the controversy because of the original nameplate and everything like that. I get it. But then the Puma came along and everyone has seemed to love that. Last year it was the best-selling car in the UK, so maybe the Capri could do well. And the next car that I'm going to be discussing is the MG HS, the new generation. So I reviewed the MG HS facelift about a year ago now, and it was a very popular video, one of my most popular videos. Honestly, it's a very good value medium to larger SUV. I think the value for money is very good with it, and the style and the equipment, all excellent. MG and Chinese cars in general, and also I'd feed that into Korean cars as well with Hyundai and Kia, they're not the best in making engines, and their engine technology is not as efficient as the European engines. So that's still the issue with the MG HS, the new model, but it looks so much better than the old one. It dates the old one quite a bit. It looks so modern. It just shows how far MG are coming. I was so impressed with the MG3 Hybrid Plus. You can watch that video up there. Excellent car. They're going to be a big brand, MG. They already are doing well. I was skeptical a few years ago, but no, they are coming in strides, and I think they're going to do a good job. This HS, hopefully I'll be reviewing it shortly in a few weeks, so keep an eye out for the video of that car. There's lots of inspiration from the Volkswagen Group I see in it. Bit of Tiguan style to it, and then quite more so Skoda, I'd say. It's quite Kodiaq as well. And then there is also a little bit of Hyundai and Kia in there. But it has its own identity, and they're starting now to put that across the board with the Cyberster, the 3, and now the HS. And then the ZS will be coming next year. So those like 3 cars I thought were quite all important. The Capri, I know it's kind of old news now, but that was much talked about. It's only right to mention it. Also on my board you could see the Ford Puma facelift. That is another video that's coming very soon, so I'm excited to get my hands on that. See the little tweaks outside and inside, and let you know what I think of it. Okay then, let's move on to your comments. Comments. I've had so many comments recently because it's been a while, and also I want to say a massive thank you to everyone, new subscribers and also the people who subscribed for a long time, which are most likely more people watching these podcast episodes. Thank you so much. I've had such a big growth in the last few months and it's been pretty incredible. So thanks again. Let's start. We've got a mixed bag again, but I'm going to focus on the positive ones. Of course, with more views, you always get more negative comments as well, but you also get more positive. So get a mixture of both. So this was from my Audi SQ6 e-tron review, my latest new car review. And it was from S. Dow Deng, who said, "Great presentation, future Top Gear presenter, well done." That was so nice. So I said, thank you. Who knows? That would be pretty awesome though. That would be definitely a dream come true. Who knows? And we'll see. And then this is a nice comment as well from the Ford Explorer review. I got quite a few nice comments on that one. This is from Guy_Diamond. Great video as always. Commenting for the algorithm so more people get to see your reviews. Been a sub since your Tiguan review. And that was a great comment as well, so thanks for that. And then I'll go to one from the Tiguan review. This is from Angus Hog 3667. He said, initially I thought, where did this young boy come from? However, how wrong was I? What a great, informed and helpful review. I have just ordered an Elegant and so appreciate your knowledge and insights. Great job. So thanks for that comment. That's a really nice comment. This is from my Cougar video. It said, watching a kid driving a car, babbling along. No way. Sorry. And then someone else said, this is on a Touareg review, there are a bit credibility issues due to that 14 years old dude. There's a bit of credibility issues with his spelling as well, and the smiley face after. I can't please everyone, hey, but I do trigger a lot of people that are like, can you even drive? Are you driving? No. Do you think that it'll let me drive a brand new car I couldn't drive or was 10? No. So they always kind of make me laugh. I'll go on to another one. Chris Townson on the Explorer review said, love how you show the wheel choices, very clever. Thank you. I still stand by it. I love the way I do the wheels as well, just to, you know, hype myself up there. But I really enjoy that, the animations of the wheels changing on my reviews. I don't do it on every review, only if I've got the car for long enough and it's not too complicated, or if it's so simple that you only do one wheel on a car like most MGs, then I don't do it. But other than that, I will do it, and I think it's quite a good way because then you can actually imagine the wheels on each like car, and also you'll notice from the first time I started doing that a few years ago, I've got better as well, like matching it up to the car with the lighting and the saturation. So it is a bit time consuming, but I think it's definitely worth it and pays off. Like you can actually kind of see what the wheel would look like on that car in front of me rather than on a picture out of context. So I do like the way I do that as well. So thanks, and I'm glad other people enjoy that as well. And I'll leave with this one. This is probably one of my favourite comments. This was from 3 weeks ago. This was on my Transit Courier review, which I really liked that review. I didn't even drive it. It hadn't been PDI'd and it had no fuel in it. But I love that little van. I think it's such a good little van. Also, a few people bought the van from watching that video as well, which was really cool to hear that they told me that at the Ford garage, and that's just really great to hear. I was just an honest review. Obviously, I'm very balanced, point out the upsides and downsides, and the people saw my video and went down and bought one is pretty incredible and shows what impact automotive content creation has as well on the sales of cars. It has a big impact not only with Auto Trader advertising cars, which I do as well, but also this side of it, making reviews and content and entertainment, how that actually feeds into sales as well is really interesting. Yeah, I'm quite proud of that as well, so that's really great. If you're leading on to leads and sales, then that's great. And also, I don't feel the pressure to sell. It's more of like, I want to just show the car. I will be honest about the car, what I like and what I don't like about a vehicle as well. John Sharkey 2448 said, what a fantastic review. Every question I was thinking about, you gave the answers, my friend. A great future lies ahead for you. So that's a great comment, and thanks again. Like I say, that video has got a lot of good engagement, and I've had a lot of videos that are slightly older, like from the start of the year or last year, that have also been getting a lot of traction as well. And that's just how it works with YouTube. It's like a snowball effect. That's all the comments I'll read because I could be here all day. Quite a few different comments on there that I got from you. So thanks again for your comment. That's really great. Let's move on to what's coming soon. Coming soon. So as I film this podcast, tomorrow I'm actually going to be doing a full review on the Omoda 5. So I did like a walk around video on it. You can check that out up there. That was a few months ago now, but I'm going to be fully driving it and giving it an in-depth review. I've got some thoughts on it already. Do I think it's going to blow me away? No, I don't think it will, but I think it's worth giving it a chance, try, see what I think of it, and giving you guys a review as well. It's something a little bit interesting, and, you know, affordable vehicles, is quite a hot topic at the moment. Could work for a lot of people with leasing, and eventually Motability is what it'll be coming on. So that'll be soon. As I mentioned, the Ford Puma facelift review, that'll be also on the way soon. And yeah, a few other bits. I will also be attending the Paris Motor Show in October, which I'm very excited about. So that's going to be good. There's going to be so many brands there. When I went in 2022, it wasn't the biggest show. After lockdown, it was the first one. It was good though, but it was mostly French brands and Chinese brands. So this year there is actually quite a lot of European brands, lots of German brands going to be there. Also the French brands again, so there'll be quite a few new cars for me to cover there, which I'm very excited for. And then in the coming weeks, I've got some more videos as well on the way, which all is very exciting. More podcast episodes I'm sure will be coming. There's not been a massive amount of car news actually as I've been gone. There's been a few cars be launched and things like that, but honestly I feel like that it's been a bit of a dry patch with things coming out. Not a massive amount of EVs have come out either. Keep an eye out for more podcast episodes. This will be going up on Spotify podcasts and Apple podcasts as well, so you can listen to it in audio form if you'd prefer. Make sure to leave a review on it as well. Share it with family and friends if they want to know more about cars, and put in your questions down below and I can answer them in the future podcast episodes. So if you've got any questions, put them down below and I'll try my best to answer them all. Hopefully I'm going to be having some guests as well, so fingers crossed, and keep an eye out for those as well. I look forward to seeing you in my next review or podcast episode.